A few videos of 3 passenger planes traveling through Saudi Arabia's streets while hitched to massive trucks have been posted on social media sites. People in Jeddah saw 3 Saudi Airlines Boeing 777 aircraft being hauled by 26-wheelers on the city's roads, so they took self-recording videos and posted them on social media. Began posting, police and traffic department escort cars, as well as a large number of crew members, were seen, assisting the convoy in moving forward. Due to this convoy, there have been times when there have been traffic jams and times when people have been seen standing on the side of the road, appearing horrified, including people and children. I started to feel happy about this situation. At first, it was assumed that they might have been transported for the purpose of repair or display someplace in the region of King Abdul Aziz International Airport in Jeddah. But as time went on, it was discovered that the 3 trailers, all longer than 100 meters, were ultimately headed for Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia, which is 850 kilometers away from this region. That aircraft is a Boeing 77. As of right now, Saudi Arabia is the first nation in the world to convey an aircraft 850 kilometers via road. When a stone was launched through the air in Europe in 2004, that record was previously held. This trip, which took off from Heathrow Airport and traveled 643 kilometers to the Museum of Trip in Scotland, set a new world record for Saudi Arabia because it involved flying 3 Boeings to such a far-off destination. Not only was this a record, but it was also a well-planned marketing ploy by Saudi Arabia, which most likely worked to some significant extent. Let's investigate this topic more thoroughly and attempt to determine the purpose of it all. The first aircraft has the registration number AZA-KG, according to data. It is a 26-year-old Boeing 777 that was supplied to Saudi Airlines in 1998 and grounded after 18 years of service. For the previous 8 years, it stood at Jeddah Airport after being retired. After being in operation for about 18 years, the other 2 aircraft were also grounded for the preceding 7 to 8 years. Over their service lives, these 3 aircraft have logged 50,000 hours of flight time. Service life implies that an aircraft's useful life continues as long as it is performing its regular tasks. However, what happens to the Boeing 777 once its manufacturer decides not to utilize it for an extended length of time? Aircraft are typically taken to aircraft boneyards once the ships have left and their service life has ended. Large, expansive fields known as boneyards are used for long-term airplane maintenance. Saudi Arabia would not have had any trouble obtaining such a location, particularly in a country with desert-like temperatures. Because the arid atmosphere there has less moisture, boneyards are built there to protect the aircraft stationed there from rusting, which seriously harms metal. The engines and other critical components of the aircraft are covered before it crosses the boneyards to protect them from soil moisture and temperature changes. These aircraft are obviously not very useful, but nonetheless, periodic maintenance, such as cleaning, is required. Additionally, several sections of the aircraft, including the engine, electronics, landing gear, and seats, still have life remaining in them long after they have reached the end of their useful lives. After a little maintenance, these parts remain in pristine condition. It is manufactured to be like new. The structure that remains after eliminating every component is not wasted. After 90 years, the material used to make modern airplanes can be recycled. The aluminum, titanium, and steel found in them are those metals which can be recycled again at the conclusion of their service life. Following this, the plane's condition is first observed. It is typically converted into a freight plane if it can be made to function again after repairs, though it is also possible that some work may need to be done on its components. For example, most flight simulators which are utilized in pilot training are constructed by altering the cockpits of stationary aircraft. In addition to serving all of these purposes, grounded aircraft are utilized globally as tourist attractions. Like with hotels, cafes, and museums, it happens frequently and is contingent upon the amount of money an airplane hoping to exploit as a tourist attraction can afford to convey. Of course, the first step in opening an aviation restaurant is to get the necessary funds. And since the grounded plane can be delivered in parts by road or rail, the cost of transferring it after that is independent. Additionally, the Saudi government decided to send these 3 Boeing 777 aircraft to a maximum distance of 850 kilometers for this purpose. They don't really care about the cost of transportation because these planes are flying to Riyadh in the winter of 2024. This massive festival, which is being held in the Saudi capital of Riyadh, is intended to draw people from all over the world with entertainment, shopping, and sports. There are 14 main categories that this Riyadh season falls under, Bollywood included. The newest Boulevard Runway, World Boulevard City Kingdom Arena, Wonder Garden Zoo, and Deus do Studio Tour for the Riyadh season 2024. A complete airport has been constructed, complete with a runway control tower and 3 authentic Boeing 77 aircraft. In this area, travelers from all over the world will be able to satisfy their desire to fly, eat in the control tower, the cockpit, or the opulent fuselage of the aircraft. Visit Riyadh for endless opulent aviation-themed entertainment. The Bollywood Runway Zone debuted in the 2024 season. This event is a minor component of Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman's Vision 2030, and it will take place from October 2024 to March 2025. 2019 saw the start of it, but because of COVID, since it was unable to establish an international presence, 75 lakh people attended the 2022 event's opening ceremony, where the largest group of Druses ever flew together to break a world record. It is anticipated that Saudi Arabia will succeed in drawing in 50 lakh tourists this year. The 2024 season will also deliver a new record. It's actually being said that Saudi Arabia's 850-kilometer flight of 3 Boeing 777s is a marketing ploy intended to promote both Saudi Arabia and Riyadh season 2024 internationally. A new global record was also set, and Saudi Arabia's current transformation serves as the justification for all of these actions. They have to rely less on Saudi Arabia's oil earnings in accordance with Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman's Vision 2030. Initially, Saudi Arabia's this kind of conception was unthinkable, yet little Dubai in the Middle East has demonstrated it today. In contrast to the past, when the UAE was likewise reliant on oil, the world is now dependent on oil as a result of Dubai's transformation as a global center for commerce and tourism. This reliance has decreased to just 5 because of class infrastructure and entertainment, and Saudi Arabia is also looking for chances for itself in light of all of this. You may see for yourself how many projects Saudi Arabia is implementing as part of Vision 2030. Whether it's the billions-dollar Neelam project or the Red Sea project, which is building 50 luxury hotels and 1,000 villas, some on the Sahel and some on the islands in the Red Sea, their whole focus is on the Western world. Saudi Arabia is hosting the Formula EP in 2025 and the DAC Rally in 2020, both of which require off-road drivers to complete an 800-kilometer circuit across difficult terrain in a single day. And there are plenty of desert and off-roading trails in Saudi Arabia, as everyone is aware. It was by no means an easy journey for Saudi Airlines' 3 Boeing 777s from Jeddah to Riyadh. The first task was to prepare the aircraft for shipping, wherein the aircraft's wings and tail were severed, leaving only a single 200-ton fuselage intact. They were lifted by special cranes that were set up. Special nylon straps were attached to hoist them so that scratches do not emerge on the body. With great care, following extensive calculations, 2 cranes worked together to lift a large fuse and place it atop a 26-wheeler. It has 104 tires even though it is called a 26-wheeler. It was also not an easy trip from Jeddah Airport to Riyadh. This entire path was pre-arranged at locations where turning a trailer longer than 100 meters was necessary. The ordinary traffic on other roadways was diverted into off-road routes in order to prevent convoys and maintain traffic flow. This kind of caravan, running faster than 100 km/h, can affect the trailer's ability to balance its weight. Therefore, do not exceed this pace. The convoy should be escorted by police cars the entire way. Disassembly or breaking things down is the whole process. It took around 10 days, including nights, to disassemble the airplane's components, transfer them, and then reassemble the wings. Overall, the assessment is that Saudi Arabia is sincere about its Vision 2030, which calls for a lot more of these types of practical jokes in the future. One point that hasn't been addressed, though, is whether Saudi Arabia could actually compete with Dubai's tourism industry. Kindly provide the solution in the comments section. This video should be enjoyed and shared by all, I hope. I appreciate your kind sentiments very much, and I hope to see you in the upcoming amazing video.